Imagine it's 1954. The morning bell rings across town, and a line of neatly dressed children walks toward a red brick schoolhouse. Boys in pressed shirts, girls in pleated skirts, hair combed perfectly, because today might be picture day. This was school in the 1950s, part routine, part ritual, and a whole lot of chalk dust. Before tablets, before Google, before online learning, there was the blackboard. Teachers wrote in cursive, chalk squeaked across the board, and the smell of erasers filled the air. If you were lucky, you got to clap the erasers outside, and everyone fought for that job. Desks were wooden, heavy, and often carved with initials that had been there for decades. You'd open the lid, find your spelling book, your pencils, maybe a few crumbs from last week's lunch. Every desk told a story. The day started with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone stood, hands over hearts, voices in unison. Then came reading, arithmetic, and handwriting, especially handwriting. Because in the 1950s, cursive wasn't just a skill, it was an art form. You practiced loops and curls until your letters danced perfectly across the page. If your handwriting was messy, you heard about it. Neatness mattered. So did posture, politeness, and punctuality. Teachers were respected, sometimes feared. They wore suits or dresses, carried rulers, and had eyes that could spot a note being passed from across the room. But they cared deeply, too. Many taught the same families for generations. Lunch was simple: sandwiches wrapped in wax paper, apples and milk in glass bottles. No microwaves, no vending machines, no Lunchables. Just homemade food, eaten at long wooden tables filled with laughter and whispers. And recess? That was freedom. Jump rope, hopscotch, marbles, tag, games that needed no batteries, just imagination. You came back to class with dirt on your knees and stories to tell. What's one thing you remember most about school back then? Was it the sound of chalk on the board, the smell of lunchboxes, or your favorite teacher's voice calling roll? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear what made your school days special. Discipline was part of daily life. Talking back meant trouble. Gum under the desk meant detention. But those lessons went beyond the classroom. They shaped generations that valued respect, patience, and effort. There were no laptops, but there were encyclopedias. No Wi-Fi, but endless curiosity. If you didn't know an answer, you raised your hand or looked it up in a book as big as your backpack. Report cards were written by hand, in neat cursive, and signed by parents with fountain pens. And test papers? They came with red ink, a teacher's signature touch. Then came the best part of the year. Picture day. Comb your hair, straighten your tie, don't blink. And somehow every kid ended up with the same awkward smile, the one that still lives in family albums today. Field trips were rare but magical. A visit to the museum, the zoo, or the fire station could make your week. You packed a brown bag lunch and spent the whole bus ride singing songs with your classmates. And when the final bell rang, you walked home. Sometimes miles, no bus, no ride, no worries. You waved to neighbors, stopped for candy, and carried your books with pride. Homework could wait until after dinner, but it always got done. Looking back now, it's easy to see why the 1950s classroom feels so warm in memory. It wasn't perfect, but it was personal. Teachers knew your name, friends knew your secrets, and every lesson felt like it mattered. It was a world of chalkboards and patience, a place where learning was slower, but maybe deeper. If this trip back to the 1950s classroom brought a smile to your face, give this video a thumbs up. It helps others rediscover those chalk-dusted memories too. And don't forget to subscribe to Yesterday Lives to keep traveling with us through the golden decades, from the schoolyard to the drive-in, from the living room to the open road. Because yesterday never really left, it just graduated with honors.